Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back. Today, I want to talk about how to get your ex back if you've been needy. Ooh. And I have an email here from a client of mine who was needy and who got his ex back. And by the way, as an aside, in the last 2 weeks, 5 of my male coaching clients have gotten their exes back. No, that's not a typical result. I don't usually have 5 guys getting their exes back in 2 weeks. So that's excellent. And for all the non-believers who say that, oh, no contact doesn't work on women or women don't come back, well, there you go. 5 women came back. But before I describe this one situation where the guy got his girl back, I want to remind you to be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. And while you're at it, tap the bell icon so you'll be notified when a new video is up. All right, so I'll go through his email and make commentary as usual. He says, "Thanks for your sound relationship advice over the last year and a half since the breakup. The great news is I am now back with my former girlfriend after a year of no contact. For me, following no contact was less about getting my ex back and more about charting a new path, learning how to move forward in life, and growing up emotionally." And by the way, this guy's not a young guy. He's not old, but he's not in his 20s or 30s. Just in case you see that growing up emotionally and you think, oh, he's young. No, not really. "I saw her profile on a dating site and I felt enough time had passed, a year, that it would be okay to send my ex a nice birthday wish and ask her to go for coffee to catch up. She responded and said it would be really nice to catch up. We wound up getting together for a casual dinner, had a great time, laughing and catching up. She emailed me a couple of days later to ask how my week was going. Needless to say, we've been out together for 6 times in the last month. She has asked me out about half the time, and we've gotten into a nice, comfortable rhythm. She asked me a couple of weeks ago if I missed her while we were apart. I told her," now listen very carefully because this is a really great answer that he gave. He said, "I would be lying if I said I didn't miss you. However, it would have been very unloving for me to try and push open a door that was clearly closed. So I chose to move forward, focus on my company, go to the gym, and spend time with family and friends." She mentioned that she did miss me and was sad for months after we broke up. She also wondered what I was doing and had thought about reconnecting, but was scared that I had moved on or what I thought of her. She thought she would never see me again. And now keep in mind, she broke up with him because he was needy. Obviously, that's why I'm reading the email. But we'll get to that part in a minute. Okay. "It's important to keep some doors partially open: social media, dating profile, family connection. So if and when your ex wants or is curious, she can comfortably reach out or leave clues that she's interested. It was good for me to finally reach out at some point after a sufficient amount of time had passed. How much time is hard to gauge, but I would say at least 6 months to a year. For me, a year felt about right." Now, I actually did a video on this titled, I believe, "Yes, You Can Break No Contact," where I said if 9 months have passed and you haven't heard from your ex and you have done 9 months of no contact and you're in a place emotionally where if they don't respond when you reach out or they're not interested or they moved on, you're okay. I say, yes, you can reach out. And a lot of people had a problem with that. They were not happy, but you can't be that hardcore. Rules are made to be broken. And once in a while, yes, you do have to break no contact. And so in this case, as with him, after a year, he broke no contact, even though he was the one broken up with, and it worked out. So continuing on. "The biggest thing I didn't understand before, because I was in my own head too much and overly focused on the relationship, is that she was under a lot of pressure with her business. The demands of her company combined with the needs of her family and friends was a lot for her, adding in a relationship that was draining her, and she had no choice but to end things, even though she didn't want to. That's the key to this whole thing. If you're broken up with because you're needy, the person they don't want to break up with you, but you basically give them no choice because it's so annoying to be with someone that's constantly needy. It's draining. And in this case, she had things going on with her business. She didn't need the added pressure of someone being needy and saying, well, how come you don't have time for me? Or when am I going to see you? Or what's going on? You don't have time for me anymore. So they're going to get rid of you because they don't want all that pressure. There is going to be times in any relationship where you're not going to be the priority. They're going to be busy with other things. They might be sick. They might have a family member who's sick, a child. They might have business issues, and you can't always be the priority. They have other things to attend to. And so if you want to be a good partner, you can't just make it about you and go, oh, you don't have time for me anymore. You don't love me. Grow up. So if you see that your partner is having a difficult time of things, then be a partner. Instead of taking, give and say, what can I do to make your life easier? What can I do to make things easier for you while you're going through this? Because I'm willing to bet if he had done that, she would not have broken up with him. But he didn't. He was just worried about himself and the fact that his needs weren't getting met. And so in trying to get more, he ended up getting nothing. He ended up getting broken up with. That's the irony of being needy, is you're needy because you don't think you're getting enough. And by asking for more, you end up with zero when you get broken up with. So you have to be a partner and do what you can to make their life easier. And then do you really think they're going to break up with you if you're being like that? Who's going to break up with someone that's helping them rather than hindering them? What can I do for you? Walk your dog, do your laundry, pick up your dry cleaning, do the grocery shopping, pick up the kids from school, whatever. I'm here for you. And if you don't have time to see me right now, you're busy, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm here for you when you need me. That's the kind of partner that you should be. And that's the kind of person that will never get broken up with, because who would be dumb enough to let someone like that go? Continuing on. He says, the last thing a strong woman needs is a man who's too focused on the relationship, that's right, needy, and not focused enough on his own priorities, career, hobbies, friends. Lesson learned, partly due to no contact. This time round, I'm letting her know that she can take all the time she needs to take care of things. I'm content to take things day by day. The biggest thing I learned with no contact is how to be chill when single and also in a relationship. Very true. You should always be chill. There are moments when I feel I'm just doing small no contact periods, even though we're back together. This gives her some time to miss me and able to focus on her priorities. Thanks for the huge life lesson and for your solid advice. You're welcome. So, 2 things to learn here: that you can reach out after a sufficient amount of time has passed. If you were broken up with, I say minimum 9 months. And if you were needy, you especially have to do strict no contact. So you have to leave them alone, because the reason that they broke up with you was because it was just too much. You were asking for too much at that time and they didn't want to give it to you. So not accepting the breakup and continuing to bug them is going to get you blocked, and they're never going to want to see you again. So if you've been needy, you have to do strict no contact. Accept the relationship as soon as possible and say no problem and leave them alone. And then, like this guy, if you don't hear from them in 9 months minimum, and you're over it to the point where you won't be devastated if they don't respond, then you can reach out, but only if you've learned your lesson about not being needy and about no contact and about leaving them alone. Okay? Because if you haven't and you're just going to go back and be needy again, then even if you get back together, you're going to be broken up again. All right? So if you need help getting your ex back, if you want to be a success story, then you can contact me at my website, theartoflove.net. The direct link is below. If you're listening on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe. If you're listening on iTunes, I would appreciate if you would rate and review the podcast. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.